Oshkosh Community Media Services is government programming on City Cable 10, community programming on CATV 2, and community radio on 101.9 FM WOCT Oshkosh.
This is Oshkosh Today, your connection to events and organizations in the Oshkosh area. Oshkosh Today is supported in part by the Friends of OCM, Aurora Healthcare, 855 North West Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard.
Hello everyone and welcome to another wonderful edition of your favorite local events and happenings show, Oshkosh Today. Excellent program for you as always. We hope to get you to walk to fight one of the nation's deadliest diseases, talk about ghosts at the Grand and if they exist, tell you when you can spend a night on the river, and touch on two upcoming festivals packed with food and fun. First up, and joining me now, Heather Heffler and Tracy Blisky, Aurora Healthcare, will once again be putting on a walk to help fight cancer. Heather, first and foremost, if you would, well, first off, both of you, thanks for being here. But Heather, if you would, what is the name of the walk and where and when will it take place?
The name of the walk is, it's sponsored by Aurora Cancer Care, and it's Footsteps Fighting Cancer this year. Okay. It is going to be right on our campus at the Aurora at 855 West Haven Drive on June 22nd. Okay.
Now, when I was looking it up, I know it was last year's like the Lombardi Cancer Walk, and then changed names this year. Is that correct?
Right now we're called Aurora Cancer Care, Vince Lombardi Cancer Clinic. So we're teaming up with the Vince Lombardi Foundation and Aurora Cancer Care to promote this walk. Okay. So tell us a little bit more about the walk and what it'll involve, and maybe what other kind of activities, food, fun, those types of things that are going on there. Sure. Well, the walk, like I said, is on June 22nd. Registration is at 8:30. You can pre-register. You can stop at any of our Aurora locations and pick up a paper form. Otherwise, you can go to www.aurora.org and sign up online. Like I said, pre-registration starts on June 22nd at 8:30. The walk starts at 9:30. We're going to have a chance for people to meet the healthcare team there at Aurora, take tours of the campus because we're walking around the campus, tours of different departments. We're going to have some children's activities. There'll be a fire truck, a police car, Flight for Life landing. WVBO is going to be on site with music, some food, so it should be a fun-filled day of events.
And who decides, upon the different events and how long the walk's going to be, those types of things? Is this like a committee-based type of decision?
This is a committee. Aurora, as a system, puts on walks throughout the state or at our different facilities, and then we have smaller committees that work at each individual site. Our nurse navigators are on board, people from the foundation, myself as the oncology manager, and different caregivers that just want to be a part of helping us plan this event.
This one can be answered by both of you, really. Tracy, why don't you start? But why, in your opinion, should people take place in this walk and sign up and register to be a part of it?
Sure. It's the excitement of supporting family, friends, survivors. I, as a nurse navigator, one of the three at the Vince Lombardi, when we actually meet a patient, I personally meet a patient prior for a biopsy and they're actually diagnosed with breast cancer. I am able to follow them through and guide them through the whole journey of meeting with every procedure and appointment with them. So it's not only, it's celebrating maybe a life that is no longer, or celebrating just the support.
Sure. Heather, anything to add to that?
Yeah, we just want to express that this is for everyone. This is for survivors and their families. This is to remember those that have lost their fight and to encourage those who are somewhere in the midst of their fight, whether they're just starting out or nearing survivorship, that this is to give hope to all of those involved.
Tracy, you kind of mentioned that you're just previously you're an oncology navigator. So how does an event like this kind of impact you? I know you said it kind of lets you see the process through, but what other ways does an event like this impact what you're doing on a routine basis?
It kind of puts us in a team. I mean, when I am with a patient, I truly become a friend of theirs. I know they appreciate my time, but I also get something out of it too. but seeing them there in their surroundings with their friends, it almost is like one big family.
Sure.
And it's just that conquering that disease and supporting that survivorship.
And Heather, how has the Cancer Center improved from funds raised through an event like this?
All of the funds stay within the Cancer Center here in Oshkosh. We also have satellite clinics in Fond du Lac and Neenah. So different technology and resources and things that we need to maintain care of our patients.
What kind of, how long has this walk been going on for, or how long has Aurora been doing a walk like this?
Sure. Here in Oshkosh, this is our 5th annual walk. Last year we had 424 people come out and do the walk with us. We went out in the community last year. This year we're just keeping it on the campus, really promoting the walk, family-friendly type of event.
And what kind of feedback have you gotten from the previous 4 walks in terms of people who have shown up and been a part of it? Has it been a real positive experience for them?
People have a great time. They bring out their teams, their families, their friends. They make shirts so they all look the same, or they bring posters or signs. And in the past, we've heard that they would like to see the facility. I mean, cancer survivors have been there for chemo or radiation therapy on sometimes a daily basis, and not all of their family or friends have seen what they went through. So this year, being able to offer those tours and let people really see what it is. We're also going to have other individuals or companies there. American Cancer Society is going to be there. The Hope Survivorship Program is going to be there. Our rehab staff is going to be there because we have a lot to do with cancer rehab for our patients. Those are just a few of the places that are also helping us all with our walk.
Now, with an event like this, obviously cancer is something, a disease that touches millions of lives, unfortunately, across the globe. I mean, have either of you had kind of that direct experience with a family member or a friend along the way that makes this kind of special for you to be a part of?
I personally have, actually. When I first started as a nurse in the Vince Lombardi, my grandfather was diagnosed with cancer.
Okay.
So I took him through as a granddaughter and also working there as a nurse.
Wow.
So that's pretty special for me to be there.
So for the people that even if they haven't firsthand seen cancer affect someone, if they want to be a part of this, how do they go about signing up, registering? What are the different options for actually becoming a part of this event?
Sure. Like I said before, you can stop at any Aurora clinic in Oshkosh and pick up a form and get signed up. Otherwise, www.aurora.org. Otherwise, you can surely call the Vince Lombardi Cancer Clinic, which is 920-456-7870, and we can help anyone get signed up and create a team.
And again, either of you can really answer this, I think. But in your personal opinions, why is it that cancer walks, fight cancer, sporting events, all these different cancer things, why are there so many events pertaining to that particular disease, in your opinion?
Because cancer can happen to anyone. You're not alone. You don't need to be alone. There's other survivors out there that can help support you. So showing that team spirit can certainly help you get through this.
How has this event kind of changed, Heather, throughout the years? I mean, you said this is going to be the 5th year for the walk. From when it started up until this point, I don't know if you have the numbers in, and it's because it's a while yet before it's going to be held, but how has the event kind of evolved over the previous 4 years?
Well, each year it's grown, so we've had more and more participants each year. In the past, it has been a walk run. This year we've taken the run piece out of it. We weren't seeing a lot of individuals coming out for the run, more individuals coming to walk as a team with their family and friends. And it's evolved more into a family-friendly event. Bring your strollers, not your dogs, but your strollers, and just come out and have a good time. So we're hoping that we have a good showing. We're already seeing a lot of people signing up, and we're going to have a lot to offer. So we want the whole community to be there to help us.
You said it's on the campus. Kind of give, for people who are unfamiliar with the campus, kind of give us the pitch on how beautiful the campus may be.
It is. Well, we have a walking path that goes all the way around the campus. So the 3K will actually be 2 loops around the campus, and it is gorgeous. It's well maintained. There's flowers and trees, and we're going to have different signage with Aurora facts throughout the facility.
There are a few
I'm
benches along the route in case there are people that need to sit down and rest for just a few minutes.
Couple ponds, and we're hoping for good weather.
And the healing garden inside,
Okay.
also at the end of the walk.
Sounds very nice. Real quick, since we're running out of time, give us one more time the name of the walk, the when, the where, the whole breakdown real quick.
Yep. This is the Aurora Cancer Walk, Footsteps Fighting Cancer. It is at 855 Northwest Haven Drive at the Aurora campus, June 22nd. Pre-registration at 8:30. Walk starts at 9:30, and we want everyone to come.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here. It's been a
Thank
pleasure talking with both of you.
Thank you.
All right, time for a break, but on the flip side, we talk about one of our 2 fests highlighted on this episode of Oshkosh Today.
What's your passion? The arts? Education? Environment? Is it youth issues? Women's issues? Economic development? Or scholarships? For 75 years, the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation has been helping people like you make a lasting difference in the community. For ideas that can help you, your heirs, and your community, visit our website or call 426-3993.
The Payne Art Center and Gardens in Oshkosh proudly presents Chihuly Venetians. This spectacular exhibition features 4 dozen colorful and intricate vessels by America's greatest glass artist, Dale Chihuly, along with his celebrated Laguna Murano chandelier, a 5-part sculpture with more than 1,500 individual pieces of blown glass. Chihuly Venetians is on view now through October 13th at the Payne in Oshkosh.
Welcome back. Waterfest. You've heard of it, but what new treats will it bring in 2013? We turn now to my next guest, Mike Dempsey. Mike, thanks for being here.
Welcome. Thank you, Nick.
All right, so what can we look forward to at Waterfest 2013 without giving too much away and spending the whole time talking about all the great events? Give us a brief, some of the new items for this year's Waterfest.
Well, as you know, it's located in the banana belt of the Fox Valley. It's always 80 degrees and sunny.
Okay.
So we can expect some great weather. Each night, it's every Thursday throughout the summer, starting on the 20th. And what we think will excite people is that we've got some nice new names. Kenny Loggins will be wrapping up with a 4-way package of all brand new acts coming in. In fact, he's doing 2 shows that night. He has his new alter ego band coming in. They're going to do, that's the Blue Sky Riders, and they're going to do a 60-minute set before he does his 90-minute concert set. So we get 2 doses of Kenny Loggins on the finale.
Okay, and Kenny Loggins is the Highway to the Danger Zone Top Gun theme, right?
Yes, he is. He's Footloose, Top Gun.
Okay.
I'm All Right.
So people know his stuff, even if
yeah.
you don't necessarily know the name. You know his music.
Major hits.
So talking about hits, Waterfest hit a milestone last year in 2012. Tell us a little bit about that and really what the celebration or the milestone was.
Well, we celebrated our 1 millionth fan last year, and a local Oshkosh fellow, a teacher, in fact, Steve Verhoeven, was the lucky designated 1 millionth fan. Okay. He actually got to get up on stage. And
is that that's through the gates?
Through the gates. Our visits at Waterfest. That include all the other visits at the Leach, but for Waterfest, it was our millionth fan year. And it means a lot. It's a big number. We've been at it a long time, and those fan visits translate into awareness throughout northeastern Wisconsin of what Oshkosh has to offer, and creates interest in what we do have to offer outside of Waterfest. And so those fan visits translate into other visits around town, not only on Waterfest, but throughout the year.
So when is Waterfest? Because I know it's several dates. It's not just a one night and done type of thing.
We're a concert series. We try to accentuate the positives of our market of Oshkosh throughout the summer. So we're a Thursday night concert series. Gates generally open at 6 o'clock, although we have 3 early shows that'll start at 5. But it's throughout the summer, beginning June 20th. We're taking the 4th of July off because of national holiday.
Okay.
And then we run right up till Labor Day.
And how long has Waterfest been going on for?
This is our 28th year.
28th year. So in your opinion, what is it about Waterfest that keeps, like you said, 1 million fans is an extraordinary number if you think about it. What keeps people coming back to this event?
Well, we kind of deliver on our promise. We set ourselves up to try to aspire to be Wisconsin's best community concert series. Mm-hmm. What that means is value. So for the price of a movie ticket, you're able to see some of the national acts that are coming through, a Little River Band or the Tubes or Survivor, and the Leach Amphitheater as a venue is extraordinarily intimate in terms of your accessibility of a fan to be able to scrunch up into the front and high five one of these touring artists. So the atmosphere is fantastic, and the value of the arrangement of the ticket rate admission is great, and that's made possible because of the volunteers that we have. We have over 120 volunteers every night that help us put on the show, and our sponsors help underwrite the show as well. Sponsors and donors are very generous in this community, and they want to support that mission as well. What they do is they basically underwrite somewhere between $9 and $15 of every admission.
Okay. So, when you look at the whole lineup of bands that are going to be coming in for this concert series, how is it decided each and every year who you're going to bring in? Who makes those decisions on, okay, Kenny Loggins is our finale act, or those types of things?
Well, the fans do. To a certain extent, we'll bring some bands back that we've had in the previous years that were well attended. There's a Facebook out there, Waterfest Facebook, and the fans are quite active with their suggestions. Survivor came off that list, Kenny Loggins came off that list, the Wigs came off that list, the Iguanas came off that list. A number of the bands that we have this year are on the wish list of another of the fans on and off for the year. And then what we try to do is keep those bands in mind depending on their affordability and their availability, and keep an eye on their routings and where they're at on their tours, and see if we can match them up with our needs.
Okay. Now, I know earlier you mentioned that the Leach is really kind of an intimate, theater or amphitheater, if you will. I don't know how big of a concert goer you were or have been in your day, but talk a little bit more about the Leach and kind of how that stacks up to maybe some other venues, sound-wise, intimate-wise, like you said. I mean, what is it that makes the Leach a nice venue, maybe just outside of the fact that it's intimate, so to speak?
It's set on the Fox River. You can come by boat. There's plenty of surface parking. Some of it's free around the area, very accessible. There's parking right on the area, and the amphitheater itself allows for up to 7,500 people. There's a great grass area that people can sit out on blankets or bring their chairs, lawn chairs on. And then there's a patio area that gives it a club-like atmosphere, sort of a House of Blues feel. Yeah. And the structure itself is fantastic. We put on big shows like Alice Cooper, who brings in 3 semis full of gear, and they hang it all over the place. And C.R. Meyer did a heck of a job putting that place together. So it's built to last, and it's built to produce top-flight entertainment.
Now, I know you mentioned some of the bands that are going to be there, some of the acts, if you will. Let's kind of go through the rundown as it stands right now.
Well, we start on opening night with a 3-way package featuring Hairball, the bombastic salute to 80s arena rock, and they're hilarious. They're also bringing in a fantastic light show and pyrotechnic show. Sure. Also on that card are Salsa Manzana, and that's an authentic Latin salsa band. They'll have about 12 people in that band with a lot of percussion and steel drums and horns and the works. They're fantastic. They'll be coming on about 5:30, and then around 7 o'clock, Paul Sabar and the Tomorrow Sound, and they're also more of a R&B Latin rhythm thing going on there with Paul, and he's a Milwaukee native, and his band tours nationally. Okay.
So in your opinion, why should someone take in this concert series, whether it's each and every one, or if it's just one of the acts along the way?
Well, it's a great place. It's a great sense of community. You're going to see people you haven't seen before. They come in from all over the valley. Lots of people that are like-minded. They enjoy people, most of all. They enjoy the music, and they enjoy getting out and watching people enjoy themselves as well. So you can participate, you can be a voyeur, you can enjoy your friends.
Now, we're kind of running short for the segment, but what is the admission to Waterfest, and also, where can you go to find out more on the concert series?
Well, www.waterfest.org is our webpage, and from there you can link into the calendar, you can link into the bands, you can link into our Facebook, you can become a fan and as well on that particular webpage on www.waterfest.org. And or you can contact the Oshkosh Chamber. They can set you up. We have season passes that are $100, and we have pass packs of 15 individual passes for $100. The normal admission is $8 before 6, $10 before 7, and $15 after. So it's staggered. 4 nights out of the year where we have community nights where it's 2 for 1 admission before 6 o'clock, so you can get in essentially for $4.
Wow!
And we have special pricing on the Kenny Loggins concert. That's a little bit more expensive. It's $10, $15, and $20.
But still, you can't go wrong. It sounds like it's going to be just an absolutely great time.
And that's fantastic. So veterans are free, and opening night, June 20th, teachers are free with their school IDs. So if you're in the education business, you can get in for free on opening night.
All right, sounds like a great time. Thank you, sir, for being here. Really appreciate it.
We enjoyed it too. Thanks, Nick.
All right, when we return, a day on the river is good, but a night on the river promises to be even better. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Mayor Bergtower, and I'm asking for your help. The city has several boards and commissions that play important roles in just about every aspect of local government. Whether it's the Parks Board or the Landmarks Commission, these and other boards act as a forum for citizens to address their concerns and questions about Oshkosh city government. The boards also provide members the opportunity to make positive suggestions to the council or city staff to move the city forward. So here's where we need your help. For our city to work effectively, we need active citizen participation. Many of our boards and commissions currently need members. We're asking for just a few hours of your time each month to serve on one of our boards or commissions and help to ensure a strong democratic process. So please consider serving on a city board or commission. For an application, visit the city website, stop by the city manager's office in City Hall, or call 236-5000. Thank you for your interest, and we look forward to your possible involvement.
It may be an event put on by Oshkosh Senior Center, but Night on the River is for all ages. Julie Kiefer and Carrie Autumn are our experts on that event, and they join me now. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so Night on the River, just a brief synopsis. Don't go too deep into the details yet, but what is it all about?
The Night on the River will be held on the longest day of the year, the summer solstice, which is Friday, June 21st. The event's going to be in the evening. We decided to take advantage of the long daylight during that day. It'll be from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Oshkosh Senior Center.
Okay. And Julie, why was it decided to do it on the summer solstice, on the longest day of the year?
Well, we had there's a book club that meets at our building once a month, and they had been in a course of a discussion about a book talking about some things that they missed, that they were no longer doing or able to do anymore. And some of those things that came up were camping, being able to go outside and have a fire, roast marshmallows, and we thought, well, we can recreate that here. There's no reason why we couldn't do that. We have a nice amount of lawn space, as well as having a great location right on the river. And so we thought, let's find a way to have an evening activity that allows us to do a fire and roast marshmallows and do some of those kinds of things. And what better day to do it than on the longest day? We don't. Nobody has to worry about driving home in the dark, and it's a great night, and also should be a great day to walk along the river walk.
And when you say we decided to do that, who is we, or who are all the people that were involved in the decision to put this event on, with all the fixings on this day?
Sure, that was a group of staff from the Senior Center who again, we're trying to address some things that we had heard from participants, and we're always looking for new programs and things to do, and we like to take those suggestions and find ways to make those things work.
Carrie, I know I kind of mentioned it in my tease, but this is really an event that, I mean, you know, I think people get misguided sometimes. They hear an event's put on by the Oshkosh Senior Center, and so they think, well, I'm, you know, 22, I'm 17, whatever the age may be, it's not an event for me. But that really couldn't be further from the truth, correct?
Correct. It's open to the community. So it's a community-wide event. I mean, we're hoping a lot of our participants bring their families, their children, their grandchildren. However, it's open to the community. So any age, we'd love for you just to come to see our facilities, but also take advantage of being outdoors during the summer. That was something we also wanted to address with this event.
Kind of talk about that too. I mean, with an event like this, you know, being held right outside the back door, is it an event that also kind of serves twofold? Obviously, it's a community-oriented thing. People can come and have fun, but maybe you can educate them about the programs that you're able to put on at the Senior Center, those types of things for people who are really unaware of everything that the Senior Center has to offer.
That is also, I mean, something that we wanted to address is a lot of people in the community don't realize what the Oshkosh Senior Center has to offer. We offer programming for individuals 50 and older, so that's a wide range of people that are, you know, retired, still working even. A lot of our programming, we address wellness issues, health, fitness, social, educational. We try to program a wide variety because we know that there's a vast array of interests and need out there.
Julie, now going a little bit deeper into the Night on the River event, what does it cost to attend, and what all is going to be included? Because I know there's quite a variety of things.
Right. Well, we were lucky enough to get a sponsor for this event. So Res Care at Home is going to be our co-sponsor of this event. And so we're going to have this event be free, and so that anyone can come. And we also have Cristiano's Pizza bringing out pizzas. So that's going to be kind of a first come, first serve. And then beyond that, we will have some food available at a small cost. Okay. But we also were able to partner with some other community partners. Lakeside Marina is going to come and bring a pontoon boat, so you can take pontoon rides on the river. The Otter Street Fishing Club is going to come, so you can do some fishing off of the pier that's right behind our building as well. And UWO science program is coming to do some hands-on activities. So there's a lot of really fun and different things. Also, the Jammers, which is a local group that actually practices at our building, is going to come and do songs around the campfire. So. And
what kind of music do the Jammers play?
What kind of music do the Jammers play?
It's a bluegrass type of music, perfect for an outdoor fire setting.
Now, when you mentioned the pontoon rides, the fishing with the Otter Street Fishing Club, are those also included? Those are also free? Right, right. They're coming out free of charge and offering that out to anybody who shows up that evening. So, yeah, it's a really great opportunity. And when you talk about the pontoon rides, do you know, I mean, is there a certain, I guess, course that the pontoon runs? Does it go down so far and then come back? Do you know, I don't know if that's been set in stone. Well, it's definitely not going to be a long cruise along Lake Winnebago. I mean, we're going to give lots of people opportunities to go for rides. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be up and back and along the river and let somebody else have a chance as well. So with any outdoor event, there's the chance of bad weather. So if indeed it rains or it's stormy or whatever, is this an event that's still going to happen? Yes, and that was also something we planned too, is some of the events that we have we want to be able to bring indoors, such as the Jammers still listening to, you know, their music. Also we'll have an indoor movie, rain or shine. And with the UW Oshkosh Science Outreach Program, they're able to do their activity inside or outside. So this, you know, cross our fingers, we're hoping for a gorgeous day. However, if it does rain, we're still looking to have it. Getting away now from the event a little bit, and this is your chance to kind of plug the Senior Center because, like we said, you want to reach out to more people and make them aware of what all goes on there. So, Julie, what is the Oshkosh Senior Center? And I know Carrie touched on some of the things, but what does the Oshkosh Senior Center do for this community at large? Well, again, you know, we want to always remind people that you only have to be 50 to attend. So that's a wide range of people, and we like to have a lot of different kinds of programming. So whether it's educational kinds of things like
you want to learn more about a specific topic, or you want to brush up on your high school Spanish class, language. Maybe you want to do art classes. And a lot of these things, whether or not you're experienced or not, we have a place for you. A lot of these opportunities people will teach, and some of them are already looking for someone with some skills, and then they'll kind of build on those. So educational, and then of course there's always the things like the people expect to see at a senior center: bingo, cards, games. And also we have a wonderful fitness center. And there's regular fitness classes, and it's not just, armchair kind of aerobics, although that is offered. Okay. We also have a wide variety of heavy cardio and ab toning classes that I can't even do, and as well as fitness people on staff who will do fitness assessments, help you get started, or help start you with wherever you are at.
And real quickly, because we're out of time, but what does it cost to come to the senior center if that's something you want to do and you're of that age?
Well, a lot of those programs that Julie mentioned are free, such as the bingo and the monthly soup luncheons. Other programs do have small nominal fees, anywhere from $0.25 to a couple dollars for supply instructor fees. The fitness center and exercise classes have a monthly or annual and or daily fee, just to pay for upkeep, instructors, and all that.
Sure.
So there's a wide variety of pricing.
All right. Well, thank you both for being here and filling us in on not only Night on the River, but the senior center as well.
Thank you.
All right. We have to take another time out, but when we return, it's time to bring out the booze. Stay with us and find out just what I mean.
It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. So listen. The most basic human need is to understand and to be understood, but most people do not listen. They listen with the goal of responding. In the word listen are the same letters that make up the word silent. It is through silence that wisdom comes. Focus on others in order to better understand their points of view. Speak your piece and listen. Visit the OshkoshCivilityProject.org and sign the pledge.
The Payne Art Center and Gardens in Oshkosh proudly presents Chihuly Venetians. This spectacular exhibition features 4 dozen colorful and intricate vessels by America's greatest glass artist, Dale Chihuly, along with his celebrated Laguna Murano chandelier, a 5-part sculpture with more than 1,500 individual pieces of blown glass. Chihuly Venetians is on view now through October 13th at the Payne in Oshkosh.
What do you think of when you hear the word ghost? Slimer, maybe the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? Obviously, those are both from Ghostbusters, but some variation may be haunting the Grand. Deb Daubert and Carla Zakaris are here to touch on paranormal activity here in Oshkosh right now. Ladies, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I teased it a little bit, but talk about, Deb, if you would, what special event is coming up over at the museum in not that long from now?
No, fairly soon. Well, at the museum, we're going to have a special guest and a special panel. Brian Kano from Sci-Fi Channel, he's a star of Haunted Collector.
Okay.
And we're going to be presenting a talk on haunted items. And so on the Friday, the 14th of June, you can come and actually meet and greet with Brian. And on Saturday night, we'll be at the Grand Opera House with a program with several people and find out about an investigation that will have happened at the museum on Friday night.
This sounds like a rather interesting type of event, something that you don't hear about all that often. Carla, why was it decided or how was an event like this decided upon? Because I know there's plenty of people out there that believe in ghosts. There's some that don't, but you know, it still seems like one of those events that you just don't hear about every day.
Right. The museum was doing a long research project on ghost investigations, and it just kind of led to their relationship and partnership with Tim Miley of Fox City's paranormal team. And through the investigations, the partnership with Brian Kano and Scotty Rorick came about, and they decided to come back to the museum, and we will be doing a private investigation with them again on Friday night, the 14th, after the meet and greet program. And then part of the presentation on Saturday at the Grand, they will not only talk about the kind of the process of research and investigation, but they will reveal their findings.
Now I know you're both over at the museum, but the museum and the Grand are two buildings with a lot of history. Does it ever feel as though the museum is a little bit haunted at times?
Well, I think any building you're in can feel haunted, and you can psych yourself up to believe that.
Sure.
But if they really are or not, people have to come to the presentation and find out more about that.
So tell me a little bit more about the guests that'll be speaking. I know you kind of said that they're from other TV programs and whatnot, but tell me a little bit more about some of their background, if you would.
Okay. Do you want to?
Brian Kano, as Deb said, is from the TV show Haunted Collector. They travel around the country and research and investigate and find and remove the haunted item that is at the cause of their client's problem. He also travels around the country for different conventions and has a college lecture tour that he does. Tim Miley is the founder of Fox City's paranormal team right here in Appleton, and he also travels around the country to different conventions, giving lectures. His team is highly sought after in paranormal investigation. And then he works with Scotty Rorick, who is a psychic medium.
Okay.
And Scotty is also the host of an online talk radio show on Z Talk Radio called The Buzz.
Okay.
So he as well travels around the country, and he does give private readings, spiritual readings for people as well.
So is that why it was decided to kind of team up with the Fox Cities paranormal team? Is that they have kind of that reputation of being, you know, as legit as I guess people can make them out to be, given the subject material.
Right, right. And I'll let Debbie, she really is the one that formed the relationship with them.
Well, as we were doing research on the possibility of doing a traveling exhibit on ghost investigating, there's only so many things you can research, and you know, as everyone's watching a TV show, you'll say, well, how do they know that? And so I knew I had to talk to somebody, and really did some research on who was legitimate in the area and who I thought was down to earth enough and everything. And so we did an interview with the Fox Cities paranormal team and felt them out, and from there has grown a wonderful partnership. And so, and through them is one of the reasons we were able to get Brian Kano and Scotty Rourke to come and do a program for us.
And why the partnership with the Grand? Is it just because that building has such history?
Well, that, and it's great when two city departments can get together and partner, because then, you know, finances and staffing is limited. So by joining, we can present things more creatively and with using less money and resources. So it really is to the benefit of the community that we're able to partner and pull this off.
Have either of you at this point, I know the event's a little ways away yet, but have either of you at this point gotten any sort of feedback from other people here in the community about whether they're excited, whether they think it's kind of wild? What kind of thoughts or comments have you maybe heard from people around this community?
Well, they are pretty excited, the buzz about there, because a lot of people think that Brian Kano is pretty cute looking. So that's some of the reports I got. But it's also bringing someone that has gotten national recognition to Oshkosh. And so there is a buzz out there. And that's why we hope people will get their tickets soon so they don't miss out in this unique opportunity to meet someone that is considered high up of an authority.
Sure. And where do people purchase tickets for this event?
They can purchase the tickets through the Grand's website, so it's grandoperahouse.org. They can also go in person to the Grand in downtown Oshkosh and purchase from the box office. We have a couple of different pricing structures. For the meet and greet on Friday the 14th, that's from 5 to 7. That is $10. On Saturday the 15th, the presentations is $20, or you can purchase a combo price for both events for $25.
All right, well, thank you both for being here and filling us in on the paranormal event, but I will tell you, I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Yeah, well, come and join us and we'll see.
All right, it all sounds like a spooky good time. Next up, it's not haunted, but Prez Fest will still be a special celebration. More on that when we come back.
It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. So listen. The most basic human need is to understand and to be understood. But most people do not listen. They listen with the goal of responding. In the word listen are the same letters that make up the word silent. It is through silence that wisdom comes. Focus on others in order to better understand their points of view. Speak your piece and listen. Visit the OshkoshCivilityProject.org and sign the pledge.
Hi, I'm Sue Ponick, and I've got 3 great reasons for you to support the Oshkosh Area United Way. We're cost efficient, number 1, with almost 90 cents of every dollar raised going to United Way agency programs. Number 2, your money stays local and directly benefits the Oshkosh community. And number 3, the United Way makes a difference. Last year, over 100,000 people were helped by one or more United Way agencies. We hope you'll agree. Giving to the United Way makes for a stronger community. Thank you.
Festival. It means a time of celebration marked by special observances. Julie Ortman and Harriet Martin know all about that because coming soon is Prez Fest, put on by First Presbyterian Church. Thank you both for being here, and you're obviously pretty festive in your shirts, so I'm assuming this is the second year of this event, being that you already have the first, or the shirts were printed hot off the press for you prior to the first event.
Well, there's a little bit of each right here because this was last year's shirt for the volunteers. However, the festival is being put on by the First Presbyterian Church in downtown Oshkosh, so it fits both ways.
Okay. All right, so tell me a little bit about the event and, you know, when it is, Harriet.
It is Friday, June 28th in the evening from 5 to 10, and then Saturday the 29th of June. And the 2 events are the same and yet a little bit different, and Julie can break up the days for us.
Sure.
Well, Friday we're looking at live music and more maybe of an adult feel with a beer tent and music and fish fry, which is the first time we've done that. But we'll have stuff for the kids.
You got to have fish fry. I know we were talking before the show, and you were saying it seemed like a little something was missing the first time around, so you added the fish fry in.
Right. So that may be a little more adult, but the kids are welcome as well. All free of charge. And then on Saturday, definitely geared towards families. So things for the adults and the kids to do. A lot of activities, classic cars. I mean, for every age group, we have things for folks to partake in.
And what is, why have a festival like this?
Well, we just started thinking last year about how can we let people in all of Oshkosh know that our church is located in the heart of Oshkosh. We're a downtown church. What can we do to let people know that we're just a nice, friendly group of people on the inside of this gorgeous old church? And a party came up, you know, let's have a party.
Yeah.
And a party is a festival is a party. And
right.
So that's where we had just purchased a building next door to our church and planted grass. We have a beautiful green space. What can we do with it? What do? You have a party.
Sure, sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
So when a church has a party like this, is it, I mean, what is the main purpose? Is the main purpose just to have a good time? Is it to maybe attract people to the church, to be new, I guess, members, if you will?
Yes, I think it is.
A little bit of both?
It has a dual purpose,
okay.
Right? We want people to know that the First Presbyterian Church is in the downtown heart of Oshkosh and there for anybody that might be in need. Yes, we're a regular church and new members are always wonderful, but I think our sole purpose really was to just have fun, to just do something we had never done before.
And I know Friday, Julie, you said was more of the adult portion. Saturday, maybe more the family friendly. What kind of go over or recap what the events will be for kids who are going to be coming, whether it's Friday or Saturday?
Right. Well, we will have some macaroni and cheese and some good food other than fish on Friday for the kids.
Yeah.
And the band power play 60s, 70s, and 80s music, which all kids, you know, nowadays love. And then we're going to have paddle wheel, more adults. But on Saturday, actually starting at 10, B104 is going to be there. Marty in the Morning is going to be there. And so that'll kind of kick things off at 10 o'clock. We've got crazy hair for the kids, a dunk tank, a bounce house. We'll have face painting, karaoke in the other tent for the kids. And also a lot of games that will be set up by some of the folks that do the preschool and also do Sunday school for our church. So they're used to working with the kids, and they'll just be doing all kinds of games like bags and water balloon tosses and just like a good picnic.
And did I overhear you correctly when you were talking prior to coming out here? Is there some pie throwing or something like that going on as well?
This would be true. There is a pie in the face contest, and we have nominated members within our church, and there'll be 5 people who get the most votes within the congregation, and they will be getting pies thrown in their face at an appropriate time, as well as we will have some of the local celebs in the dunk tank as well. Mayor Tower will probably be in, and some of our local politicians.
Sure.
So that sweetens the pot a little bit. And also, we're going to have a talent show. So a lot of the kids from the church will have time to showcase their talent in a really fun, friendly environment. So in classic cars, that'll be for a lot of folks that just like to walk around and look at the beauties, which was really a hit last year.
Harriet, I know that Julie just mentioned the band Power Play. They play, I think she said, 60s, 70s, and 80s music. Why was it decided by First Presbyterian Church to, I guess, have this particular band come out? I mean, there's lots of local bands. What kind of drew the church to that particular musical act, if you will?
Well, I think we just wanted someone that we thought would draw in like all ages. Julie's actually done the hiring of all the musicians, so I'm not exactly positive what helped her make the final decision, but we really wanted music that everyone could enjoy.
And a fun band. And I mean, people dance and have a great time, and anywhere they go, they bring people that are enjoying the night and having a party. And on Saturday as well, we have a couple bands. We have the Tailgaters, which is more of a Dixieland jazz band, Brad Curran, who's from the university, and also David Butler. He'll be doing some original kind of stuff in the morning, a little more geared towards the morning. So it's a lot of music and a lot of buzz and a lot of energy. It's a lot of fun.
Do people need to get tickets ahead of time prior to the Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, no,
you can walk in anytime you want and just come to the party. You could actually sit on the grass and listen to the music and just watch people all day long for nothing. But you know, you can buy tickets ahead of time. We sell them $1 a piece, and
that'll be mostly for the kids' games,
mostly for
and
the
things
kids'
like
games
that.
and things like that. Yeah. One other thing that we're doing for everybody, but we think the kids will really get a kick out of it. For one of those little tickets for $1, they'll be able to go into like the old-fashioned photo booth that you used to see, and everybody stacks themselves up, and we're going to have boas and hats and things, and instead of 3 or 10 minutes, in 10 seconds, you will
They
have
get a
your picture will be
Yeah.
done.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, what are the times again? Recap the times for Friday and Saturday and when it's all starting up.
Friday starts at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And we go till about 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So fish fry and power play on Friday. Saturday it'll be 10 to 5. Tailgaters will start about 1:30. Marty in the morning will be there 10 to 12. And then also David Butler will be playing in there. And within all that in the smaller tent, there'll be all the other karaoke and talent show and pie in the face going on in the second tent.
And finally, in about 15 seconds, Harriet, talk about where maybe some of the proceeds from this event go. How do you use them or utilize them?
The proceeds will go to a variety of different children's ministries. We have had an after-school program in the past. We didn't have it this year, but we hope to get it going again, and that's for anyone in the community. And also we have a Project Open Door. It's a counseling group that meets and helps teenagers who are either underinsured or uninsured.
Okay.
And so it goes to the children.
All right, well, thank you both for being here and filling us in on PresFest.
Thank you very much.
And now it's that time to turn our attention to Ted Stefaniak as he helps us to focus on health.
This Focus on Health segment is brought to you by Aurora Healthcare.
Hello and welcome to Focus on Health. I'm Ted Stefaniak. Today we're at the Aurora Medical Center in Oshkosh, and you know, when we do these segments, sometimes we really get a great look at some of the cutting edge technology that they have available at Aurora, and today we get to do that. We're going to be talking with Dr. Jeff Goldman about digestive health and how a tiny little camera can help diagnose some of your GI problems. Well, thank you for joining us once again today. It's great to see you. And today we're really talking about some outstanding technology that's making life a lot more comfortable for the patients that you see. And we're really talking about a pill camera.
That's correct. And this is the actual pill itself. And well, you may be able to see half of the pill is the actual camera that takes 2 flash pictures per second, and the other half is a battery pack that lasts 8 hours. And this is designed to be swallowed by the patient, and then they actually come in on an empty stomach, and they have not eaten for a period of 10 or 12 hours beforehand. They swallow with a little bit of water, and then they're wearing it's almost like a Velcro vest. It's got sensors over the abdomen, and then they have a special receiving device. Looks almost like a pager that they wear very close to their body, and they wear that for the next 8 hours following swallowing the capsule. And then the capsule basically goes through the stomach, so it passes through your food passage, your esophagus, your stomach, and then through the 20 feet of small intestine that isn't ordinarily, you can't reach it generally with an upper endoscope, an upper scope, or a colonoscope, so you're able to see the small intestine. So we're looking for things that may cause obscure intestinal bleeding. So if a patient is anemic, they have a low blood count, which is typically caused by something in an adult's. Usually a low blood count is caused by chronic blood loss, and that can be caused by anything from ulcers in the stomach to the small intestine, sometimes tangles of blood vessels, tumors, polyps, things of that nature. Celiac disease, which is a sensitivity to gluten in the diet, and that can be picked up with this technology. And then there's an inflammatory disease called Crohn's disease that can also be picked up, and sometimes it involves different segments of the small intestine.
Yeah, and before that camera, that tiny little camera that could go inside of you, I would imagine life was a little more difficult for patients.
Well, it was, and we really could not reach the small intestine. We would have scopes perhaps that could go down a few feet into the small bowel, but could not reach the entire 20-foot segment at the end. So we basically now can visualize most of the small intestine, with this technology, and then that also tells us, where the cause of bleeding is that would ordinarily not be picked up by an X-ray or a CAT scan or some other technology.
I would imagine technology like this is making it easier for you as a doctor to diagnose and even find out if things have been corrected properly.
That's correct, and so we can. Then if we find the cause of bleeding, then the patient can have another procedure to actually go down with a scope that's larger into the intestine. The bleeding sites can be cauterized, or they can be marked so that they can be removed surgically. And we can also, if it's Crohn's disease or celiac disease, then we can treat that with a diet or with medication.
Yeah, and I know you have some photos here from the actual pill camera. Can you kind of just show us a little bit about how this is, really changed medicine?
Sure. So what happens is the patient has the device and the monitoring device on for a period of 8 hours, then they come back, they drop it off, we download the information onto a workstation here. So this is actually an area of active bleeding. There's a blood clot here that we're actually picking up on this study. And this patient had multiple bleeding sites. And then we continue to move down, and you can actually move back. And you can actually see some blood here in the lumen. So, and then this patient actually had a follow-up scope procedure went down several feet into the small intestine, and we were able to find the bleeding site and cauterize it and stop the bleeding. But this is a patient that had required numerous units of red blood cell transfusion, and we were able to stop their requirement for that.
Once it picks it up on the camera, do you have an idea of the location?
Yes, and then you have and there's actually there's like almost like a little GPS device here that follows it, and you can actually see it. And then based on the time too, so we know that this is in the middle part of the small intestine, very early in the upper part. So this is called the jejunum, the upper small intestine, based on the time. Whereas if it was like at 5 hours, then you'd probably be in the lower part of the small intestine. So you'd have a good idea about whether you can approach it from above or from below.
And again, how long is the capsule inside of you, or how long?
Well, it's the small bowel exam lasts for up to 8 hours, and then the capsule itself will pass out in the stool. So once it gets into the colon, then it may be another day or so till it comes out, but it passes uneventfully, and it's painless when it comes out in the stool. And that may come out in the next day or so. Most people don't even see it. Occasionally we have some stories that people tell us it passes and it's still flashing, things like that. So.
But this, again, it's technology that is making things easier for the doctors, and also making things easier for patients as well.
Oh, it is, and it's the only problem sometimes, and the only reason perhaps not to do this is if you have a patient who can't swallow the capsule. So it's like swallowing a large vitamin capsule, but as long as you can do that. But there are some patients, particularly older patients, that may have some difficulty swallowing capsules, but usually most people can do that. So if they have a risk of aspiration or difficulty swallowing, then what we sometimes do, if when they need the procedure, then we have an introducer that we can actually put on an upper scope, and then you actually pass the introducer with the scope down through the stomach into the intestine. Then you release it, almost like releasing a satellite. Oh, wow. And then it just releases it directly into the small bowel. But most of the time you don't have to do that.
Okay. And if a person is having some intestine problems, what would be some of the symptoms that people should be worried about to seek medical attention?
Well, you'd be concerned if they had bleeding, as if they passed black stool, obviously if they had vomited blood, or if they're simply anemic, or if they just have a low blood count, they just may be pallid, their skin may be whiter, it's kind of a white as a sheet type of thing that we talk about, and they may have a low blood count, and you may have abdominal pain, cramps, or diarrhea, things like that.
And you should immediately seek out your primary care physician at
That's
that
correct.
point, I would imagine?
Yes.
Okay, and then they can get a hold of you if they certainly need you.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you for taking some time today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Good to see you. It is certainly some amazing technology. Now, if you're experiencing any of the problems that Dr. Goldman talked about, you should seek out your primary care provider. And if you have any questions about that little pill cam, or you're having any other GI problems, you can give us a call here at Aurora at 920-303-8700. I'm Ted Stefaniak, and we'll see you next time on Focus on Health.
This Focus on Health segment has been brought to you by Aurora Healthcare.
That's all the time we have for this episode of Oshkosh Today. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Oshkosh Today was supported in part by the Friends of OCM, Aurora Healthcare, 855 North West Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard. To find replay times for Oshkosh Today, to be a guest on the show, or to watch online, visit our website at oshkoshcommunitymedia.org.